The next step will be an interesting thing coming last, I think, 2 to 4 weeks from US, the well building standard. So next standard. Now we pass the label or certification and we go in the building. I've learned that in the 70s there were a sick building phenomenon within Europe. And now a US/lead organization comes to Europe. I think they start the advertising story in maybe March or April next year. So we've heard about more the well building standard. Again, absolutely positive, but on the end of the day, the third column calls economics, and this is still an issue, to be honest, due to transparency in all the situations and all the deals we saw the last 2 years.
Yeah. Just to add something on, I fully agree with what was said. In fact, we had a first step, which was the certification. And the certification, I think, mainly for the moment is acting like a brand. It's a non-material value. So a lot of my colleagues, when we started, the starting point of this sustainability metrics is, well, as an investor, I'm spending a lot of money to collect the data, to put it in the GRESB or whatever, to show off, but so what? So what? I have a brand, I have a stamp, that's good. But so what? So the question was, what do I do with the data? And really the shift I see is that we had a first step, which is making the certification, making the building visible, to a second act of this sustainability process, which is what do I do with the data? How do I change my asset management activities? How do I collect the data? How do I change my contract to make the data valuable? It can't be that the real estate industry will be the only one in the 21st century that will not give a euro value to the information. Every other industry has given the highest added value to the information, and we as in real estate, we will still gambling in buildings, talking about return on investment, not talking about information about the buildings. I think we have to think about that. And just for your information, last week I had an invitation from the European Commission with a different Directorate of Energy Environment, and they asked us to think about green building procurement and European approach to sustainability data into the valuation process. So the idea is to now shift from the second phase, which is really to implement the information of a building into the valuation process and to assess the risk. So we can imagine that we have a valuation process where the hypotheses which are into the discounted cash flow methodology, for instance, are challenged in terms of how is the probability and the quality of the hypothesis of this valuation process, and how can we assess the risk and the solidity and the resilience of our hypothesis. So it's give us, again, it's not a revolution, it's just an added value to the system that we have, and we go in more in detail and more in assessment of a risk, and it's creating the trust, and if we create the trust, we can put even more money in the real estate investment as it is in buying, selling, or retrofit or whatever. And we can really think about how we can make higher added value to our real estate in Europe.